Hey there folks, it's Scott once again and welcome to another video. Believe it or not, it's going to be another Cowboys related video. I felt like I should, I felt like I didn't quite elaborate on some of this, the other key injuries we had. Because not only did we have Michael Gallup injured and Xavier Woods, there was actually a couple players I forgot to mention that were injured. And I'm basically, going to talk about the state of the Cowboys pretty much, It's been rather a crazy week. I mean, like I mentioned earlier in my other video, Taco Charlton being gone, he's basically the street taco now, apparently you can say. And it's too bad. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I think we should have at least hanged on to him and see if he could have gone off on the Miami Dolphins. And you know what, if someone lost, their star defensive end and whatnot, you know what, if they saw how Taco did against the Dolphins, yeah, I know the Dolphins are a bad team, but if they saw how well he did or something along those lines, they said, oh, you know what, we better grab this guy. They could have traded a conditional fourth. Something. We couldn't even get a seventh round for this guy. Nothing. And I believe the front office really messed it up. I mean, they messed up their attempt to even get a value. They shouldn't have, revealed that they were going to cut him. They should have just said, you know what, if you're not going to trade for him, we're going to hold on to him, and maybe, we'll play him a little bit. And if he gets like several sacks and wreaks havoc, and if you lose one of your star players, you might want to trade for this guy. That's what you should have done. Front office, Jerry, Steven. Because you know what? You botched this up just like you botched up that 2017 draft for at least this first round. Because, after hearing how TJ Watt was good and all, he was basically your best player available. You should always draft best player available, BPA, the acronym. But alas, you reached for a need, and that's what you got. It just blew up in your face. I don't know if it was really, all of Jerry and Stephen Jones' decision, or supposedly Will McClay was for it, but I think originally he probably wanted Watt. But I guess he was convinced by the Jones family, and more than likely Rob Marinelli, who is honestly, I think, a weak link on this defense, or at least being on the D line and being the D coordinator. I think it's time for him to go. Hopefully, this is definitely his last season. If the defense continues to underperform, if we start losing games, it's time to give him the axe, because when our O-line was, underperforming last year, when we were giving up quite a bit of sacks, there was maybe one game where we did fine in, but the other ones we didn't do as well. They actually decided to fire Paul Alexander, and guess what? The line played a little bit better as a whole. And so, I don't know. Hopefully Richard has more of full autonomy over the defense for sure. So, but anyways, I'm sorry if I rambled on for that, but now I'm going to get to the other injuries. There wasn't just injuries we had. The other Woods guy, we actually have another defensive player on the D line, which is his name is Antoine Woods. He suffered some kind of ankle injury. I don't know if it's a high ankle sprain, and I don't know if he's going to be out for this week, but we do have some depth along the line. I hope this is an opportunity for our second round draft pick, Tristan Hill, to step it up. Hopefully he becomes active, and hopefully he at least shows something. And this is the opportunity to do so. I was hopeful that maybe Taco will get that chance, but he's gone. So no. And then also the other person, and it's also on our D-line as well, Tyrone Crawford is injured. Something relating to his hip, I think. I don't know if it's minor. I don't know if he's going to be out. But if anything, we're starting to lose a little bit of our depth there. But hopefully, now that, and I forgot to mention this, since Taco was cut, it was mainly to activate Robert Quinn, who was suspended for 2 games, and now this is his chance to start not only for the Cowboys, but actually against the former team that actually traded him to us, the Dolphins, as well. So this is going to be kind of a homecoming for him. And I have a feeling it might take a little bit of time for him to shake off the rust, but I think eventually he'll start to get his pass rushing ability and groove back. And not to mention he dealt with a broken hand for a while, and by now it's healed, and now that he's off the suspension list, hopefully he can definitely add some much needed pass rush, because we're going to need it. Like I said, we only had 2 sacks in the first 2 games, so like I said before, our defense is underwhelming, and we definitely need something. We need a little bit of push on that D-line. I believe that this week is now the time to do it. So, but yeah, and with all the, I know that we were supposedly in the running for Mika Fitzpatrick, but that's no longer an option. He's with the Steelers. Apparently, they needed him. I thought they would need a quarterback since since Ben Roethlisberger looks like he's going to be out. Oh yeah, and some more other news for our division rival, the Giants. The Eli Manning era is now apparently over, at least for now. Daniel Jones, their first-round draft pick, will now start. So, a bit of news for you in case y'all didn't know. But back on the Cowboys, I don't know what to expect this week, but I really do hope we do our business Sunday and get OW, because even though we face the Saints and they don't have Breeze, I'm pretty sure they're still going to be a difficult team to beat. And then we got Rodgers coming into our stadium, and I thought I had a feeling that we were going to be a different team, but it doesn't seem that way unless something changes. Back on the Xavier Woods injury, I mentioned that supposedly the Woods injury wasn't serious, but who really knows? Last I heard, he's in a walking boot, so it might be a while before we see him again. So it's going to be interesting to figure out, to find out if this defense, has what it takes, and the whole team overall, not just the offense, lighting up the scoreboard. I like to see a complete team victory where we, look dominant on both sides. But who knows? Maybe the offense falters at some point. Maybe the defense, takes it up a notch into the whole level at some point. So that would be very interesting to see. So that's what I really like to see. Some improvements on the defense, and see if Quinn really makes that much of a difference. I mean, I might save this for the pregame video, but it's been kind of a crazy week. I feel like I'm forgetting something else, but I think I covered all the injury-related stuff, with Woods, or both Woods players, Antoine and Xavier, and then of course Crawford and Michael Gallup, who, like I said, was really coming along. He was really Dak's go-to guy in these first 2 games. Like, he was he was looking like an almost legit number 1, but at the worst, the best number 2 receiver that I've seen. So, but it's going to be interesting to see if Devin Smith, alleviates himself to be in that number 2 spot. So that will be very interesting to see. And oh yeah, I definitely enjoyed seeing the Star Trek: The Motion Picture, the re-release that was in limited cinemas, and luckily I was able to catch it at the 4 o'clock showing. It didn't start till maybe a little after 4, but I just barely got there where I saw like the the little overture would start, and then the film would start after that. So it was cool seeing it on the big screen and the sound. It's cool that I got to experience the very first Star Trek movie in theaters, even though I do own it on DVD. I just wanted to get that experience in. So I figured I'd throw that in there, just FYI. Anywho, that's all I've got to say. Hopefully, we see what we have with the guys, like Darian Thompson, or maybe Jeff Heath moves to the free safety, and we see Donovan Wilson, take over first-round safety temporarily. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll make a trade. Who knows? God knows what else is going to happen with this team. So, like I said before, they don't call them the cardiac kids for nothing. Anyways, I'm going to end it here. I will see you folks in another video at some point. So, later.